for joining us for our tour guides live tour of campus this afternoon on this wonderful fall day. I have the pleasure to introduce to you our tour guide, Brad, who's going to be taking you on a walk through campus tonight to see our lovely, beautiful Ohio University campus. As you watch, and there's Brad, and as you watch, if you go through and you have any questions for Brad as a student and his student experience or things that we're seeing on campus, please don't hesitate to put those in the comments and ask away. I'm going to turn everything over to Brad, and he's going to have a great time taking you around campus this afternoon. Hey, Brad, what's up?
Hey, BJ, thank you so much for that introduction. I am thrilled to be giving all of you a virtual tour guide live, or as we like to call it. But I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Brad. I'm a senior from the Canton, Ohio area, but obviously in Athens at the moment. I'm studying journalism with a minor in sport management. And a fun fact about myself is I am a first generation college student. So hello to any of those that may be first generation, but also hello to any of those second, third, maybe even fourth or fifth generation college students. So happy to have you. So we are now starting at Class Gateway. And just to kind of give a quick heads up, this is a solo operation. It is just me, my gimbal, and a phone. So if there is any kind of camera flipping or switching or anything like that, apologize in advance. Like I said, just me running everything. But we'll go ahead and get started right across the street from Class Gateway. This is our Schoonover Center for Communication. I consider this building my second home because along with having classes in there, I have a job in there as well. And I also love to hang out and study in the lobby area that is very big. And they also have a fireplace in there too, which I think is absolutely great. Jumping across the street, you look at the building with the columns. That is Voight Hall. That is our only all-female residence hall on the campus. And then tucked in, kind of in the middle of your screen, all the way in the back, is going to be Hudson Health Center. That is our on-campus healthcare facility. So if you're sick, have a little bit of a cold, maybe an ear infection, anything like that, that is going to be the area that you're going to want to check out. Now, don't worry in case you have maybe even more of a trouble, like say, unfortunate of a breaking of a leg or anything like that. We do have a hospital that is within walking distance, so you will have that at your dismay as well. So we're going to actually be walking into College Green right now, the first ever area and what is the first ever building or first ever university in the Northwest Territory, that is OU. And right now, I tell you what, it is absolutely stunning. We have a beautiful fall day with all of the leaves changing. And there is a little panorama of College Green. As BJ said earlier, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. He will be happy to answer them. And if they're anything more directed towards me, he'll actually stop me and have me answer them as well. So the first building we'll talk about is right here. Templeton Blackburn Memorial Alumni Auditorium. That is certainly a mouthful, so we just like to call it MAMAD. That is what hosts our bigger events, such as concerts, poetry slams, or a cappella offs between all of our on-campus a cappella groups and areas like that. So if it is a student-run production, such as some of those student groups squaring off in poetry slams or the student a cappella, then those will be free of charge. It's included in your fees and tuition. But if it's anything like a concert or a Broadway show, like I got to see Jersey Boys last year, that was really fun. It was about $20 to $30 a ticket. It was kind of sad because a lot of couples were there on date night and it was just me all by myself. But nevertheless, I still had fun watching a Broadway show there. I thought that was pretty cool. And then moving forward into College Green, we are going to be next talking about the three original buildings at OU. And if you do happen to just join, you're a couple minutes late. It's all good. We just started. My name is Brad. I am a senior studying journalism. Super happy to have you for our tour guide live, whether you're tuning in on Facebook or YouTube or any other of the social media platforms that you may be tuning in from. So next up is going to be our three original buildings, McGuffey, Cutler, and Wilson Hall. So Cutler Hall was the first ever building at OU. It housed literally the entire university into one, whether it was classrooms, lecture halls, anything like that. That was the definition of Cutler. And right now it just sits as the office of the president and other high-ranking officials too. What's pretty cool about Cutler, and actually our president, President Dwayne Nellis, he has open office hours throughout the week. So back in a traditional sense of being on campus, you could go into his office and ask him about anything. during his open office hours, whether you want to change the colors, change the school mascot, or anything in the spectrum, he'll be happy to talk to you. Wish we could have you actually on campus right now, but unfortunately, because of all the social distancing and things like that, we cannot. But if we were on a tour, I'm sure he would want to stop by and chat with you, talk to you about pretty much anything. He loves stopping tours, and it's really cool that our president likes to do that. And I am actually going to give a quick turnaround. And actually, we have BJ. Is there a question?
Yeah, so Brad, we have lots of folks who are tuning in and like to say hello, even from Australia. So we've got lots of people watching that. We do have a little bit of a request. This is our first live stream. The gimbal seems to be a little bit shaky, so we might want to try doing this just by hand. If you could pop that out real quick, just a little bit of that would be awesome. So, yeah. Looks like we have some prospective students who are looking to have a great time at Ohio as well to get started. So,
all right, I think it might be. How is that looking for everybody? Is it a little too shaky? More shaky?
I think we're good. I think we're good.
We're good. All right, I will throw the gimbal in my back pocket and then go ahead and do this by hand. I am not one that has really sturdy hands, but we will roll with it. And then if anyone is wondering kind of the rhyme or reason with our bricks, it's actually because an architect sat atop Cutler Hall and actually drew out where students were walking, and engineering students placed those bricks in those areas. So we love to say that our older students paved the way for new ones. I just love College Green because it's a great spot if you want to stop and grab some food uptown and bring it to College Green and sit, camp out, and picnic. That's a great area to do so. Reminds me of my freshman year when after my learning community, me and somebody in my learning community saw there was free ice cream on Court Street, got our ice cream bars, and just sat and chatted on those benches at the front of College Green. So that's one of the fond memories I have as a student, as that is unfortunately coming to just a little bit of a close, wrapping up on my second to last semester. So cue the tears, so to say. But next up, I will be talking about Galbraith Chapel. He built this in honor of his late wife, but more importantly, wanted it to be a non-denominational chapel too. So when he built it, he wanted it to be the tallest building on campus, as it is absolutely massive. And so whatever study, religion, faith, whatever it may be, you are able to study that within Galbraith Chapel. I actually attended a history speech inside of here as well. It is a very neat building and would highly recommend checking it out if you come on campus. And also alums do like to get married there as well. So if you have any interest on finding your Bobcat love and coming back to Athens and hitching up with them, there you go. That could be Galbraith Chapel. And to give you a little bit of perspective, I am over 6 foot, and that absolutely towers over me. So we will continue to move on to the most exciting part of our campus, the library. And once again, if you're just joining us, super happy to have you. My name is Brad. I am a senior studying journalism. Happy to have you on this tour guide live. It's a stunning day in Athens. The fall leaves are totally out. This is one of my favorite times of the year. It's actually game day in Athens too. Our football team plays tonight at 7 o'clock. It's on ESPN if you want to check that out. Just one of the many other ways that OU is going to be on the national spectrum tonight. And if you want to throw in the chat, maybe where you're from, maybe there's people in the similar area as you, maybe you're seeing people from all over the world. I know BJ mentioned we have people from Australia. Hello to you. Thanks for hopping in. Hopefully you can find your way to little old Athens in Southeast Ohio. All right, so now we are at our next stop. Apologize. Like I said, it's just me. There's going to be some technical difficulties. That might be the phrase since the pandemic started. But anyway, this is Alden Library. It is 7 stories in total, and it is requested that each floor, as you go up, you get quieter. So on the 6th and 7th floor, you have to be completely silent. I stay away from those floors because I am tall, I am loud. It's just not worth it to me. So I stay in areas more like the 3rd floor, which is where our collab is, and that is a big collaborative space. It was built so that it could be a big think tank / brainstorm area for really all majors to check out and just hang out and chat about whatever ideas they may have. They also have pizza nights every Tuesday. So in case you are interested in filling up on some food and hanging out with a lot of people, that is going to be your area to do so. Some resources we have within the library is our Academic Achievement Center, which holds our writing, math, and science centers. The Writing Center, if you're someone that struggles with writing papers, they are going to be your go-to person because they will actually look over maybe your rough draft of an essay, a paper, whatever it may be for a class, and give you feedback on it. And it is not, they do not say that it's going to be a letter grade higher, but from personal experience, I can tell you, you will most likely get that letter grade higher because they do a great job of breaking down what you need to improve on, what you should add, what you should drop, anything of that sort. There are some awesome people down there too. Also within the Academic Achievement Center, we have our supplemental instruction, otherwise known as our SIs. So those are led by teaching assistants that work closely with the professor in intro level classes that the university deems hard to pass. So for example, my freshman year, I took a psychology course. I really didn't know what was going on, but the SI, because it was outside of class time, and it's invited that everyone goes, not all 150 students go, only about 10 to 15 do. So it's a really nice way, a one-on-one way to ask questions and kind of learn a little bit more about the notes. So I found that very helpful. And also the Allen Advising Center is in there too. So in case you need to change your major, wondering about what to change your major to, those wonderful people inside there will help you out too. And next we're going to move on to this little park. So this park is actually in the shape of Ohio, and some traditions that we like to do. Actually at Ohio and during your orientation, you will actually get to stand where you are from. If you are from the state of Ohio, if you're not, if you're an out-of-state or an international student, we will have you stand right where Athens is because Athens is your Ohio home, and we want you to stay and be Bobcats, obviously, because that's what you're doing for orientation.
Hey, Brad, we do have a question.
Yeah.
And that question is, what is your favorite floor in Alden?
Favorite floor in Alden. So I kind of touched on a little bit, but it's going to be either the second or third floor in the library. The second floor is where the cafe is, something I had forgot to mention. That is open extremely late and also extremely early in the morning too. There's just a lot more conversations happening and things like that. And I love kind of that background noise to study. And also the third floor as well. I mean, it's also awesome to go into the collab. It's kind of a newer space, a little groovy space, so to say. So I really enjoy both those spaces because there's a lot of conversation happening. I like to be outgoing and talk to people. So those are my favorite spots. Great question. And if we have any more, we do have a little bit of some extra time before we check out our next spot. But actually, I'll show off this little area right here, as this is the Scripps Amphitheater. So this is where the College of Journalism used to be housed until it got moved over to Schoonover. And in that little area, sometimes you'll see classes outside. Professors will take the classes outside. Or on Dad's weekend, my freshman year, somebody actually set up drums and a guitar and had a little show and a little concert that my dad and I stopped by on Dad's weekend for about 15, 20 minutes. So I thought that was pretty sweet and just a nice outdoor space to study. And you can see the nice little grooved hill. So if you want to sit down, read a book, lay down, or heck, even take a nap, whatever you want to do. And there we go.
So as we're transitioning, and you've mentioned a couple of events that you've been to, Jersey Boys, and then the little mini concert you just mentioned. What are some of your other favorite memories of experiences while you've been a student here at Ohio?
So I would say it's certainly interacting with people. Most importantly, our Alumni Network is great too. 2 years ago, when I was looking for an internship, there was a team I really wanted to work for called the Savannah Bananas. They became nationwide popular because they played a baseball game in kilts, which I thought was awesome. I thought they were just a fun team to work for. And I'd reached out to them because their vice president was actually an OU alum. And he responded immediately with, "Go Bobcats, what can I do to help?" And he got me in touch with the person in charge of internships. Next thing you know, I got the internship a couple months later. And I've kind of felt that way since I hopped on campus at OU all the way back in 2017. Wow, that's a while ago. So that is personally one of my favorite experiences, is just seeing alums come back. And something I miss the most now is just simply just seeing people every day, walking by people. Our campus isn't so big that you're not going to recognize people, but it's not small enough that you're going to see the same people every day. So you'll always see at least one or two people walking from class to class, and just whether it be sitting on College Green, sitting in the library with our Starbucks at 11 o'clock at night, grinding out for a test. Those are some of my favorite things.
Thanks for sharing.
Of course. So the side of this building right here is where our Office of Undergraduate Admissions, Financial Aid, Scholarships, the Registrar, and the Bursar are held as well. So if you have, it is Chubb Hall, and if you have had your application sent in, the people that normally would be working in this building will have seen it, at least 3 of them. And if you have any questions about scholarships, financial aid, these are the wonderful people that you are going to want to talk to. And now, since all of our class registration is actually online, you'll actually register through classes through this building virtually, and those people will help set you up with your classes because obviously coming here, you have to take classes. We're students. That's what we do. And we are going to be walking up towards Uptown a little bit in just a second. But first, I'm going to stop at Copeland Hall. This is our College of Business, and as you can see, it is designed after a bank. So maybe you work for a financial company in the future, anything like that. But what I absolutely love about the College of Business is a program they have known as the cluster program. So this will happen in either your second or third year as a business student. And it's where you'll take a cluster of classes, so 3 to 4 classes all combined into one for roughly about 12 credit hours. And you will be put with a group. And with this group, you'll come out with business plans, ideas that you're going to have to present to your professors throughout the semester. Now, this is a lot of work. Like I said, I'm not personally in the College of Business, but I have a lot of friends who are, and they say it's a lot of work, but it is something that they learn the most from because it is so hands-on. And I think that is just a great example of a lot of hands-on things that Ohio University has to offer. And here's the front side of Chubb Hall as well. And next up, we're going to take out a quick peek of Uptown Athens. And here it is now on the bricks. And here's another view of Chubb Hall. There's me through the window. And that little building where you see a light going is Court Street Coffee. They have a drink called the Court Street Mocha, which I think is absolutely fabulous. It's one of my favorite coffee drinks of all time. It's basically just a chocolate flavored coffee milkshake, essentially. It's absolutely delicious. But we have a ton of different coffee shops and cafes and eateries too, such as Brennan's, which has incredible cold brew, and also sandwiches, much like Bagel Street Deli, which you can get kind of any sandwich in between any kind of bagel that you would like. We have a Casa Nueva, which is incredible Mexican cuisine. And then my personal favorite, Jacquio's, which isn't on Court Street, it's actually on Union Street. But they have kind of just your pub style food and eatery. It is really delicious. I always get the fish and chips. So sorry if I'm making everyone a little bit hungry right now, but there is a lot of great options uptown as well. And here is the beautiful and historic Athens uptown region. See on the corner of Wits, and then also a college bookstore as well. Yes, BJ.
I will say, Brad, you are making people very homesick. We have several alums who are watching along and sending their greetings and missing Athens right now. So I'm sure they appreciate you sharing a little bit of this evening with them. So we've got people again from all over Chicago, Indiana. So you're doing a great job, man.
Beautiful. And to talk about this little corner I am on, this is Alumni Gateway. This is kind of the arch that you'll walk in your first Sunday as a Bobcat. You'll have a hype up speech from the president. You'll walk up from Richland Avenue in that direction, and then you'll walk right through into a big, giant campus involvement fair where all of our 600 plus clubs and organizations are located. You're basically going to be like Bella from Pitch Perfect. They'll ask you to sign up for everything and anything under the moon. I certainly signed up for a lot, so my emails were flooded in that first week. But you don't necessarily have to stay with all of those clubs. I recommend kind of narrowing it down to 2 to 3. Also, another great point is if you're ever on campus, this is good off and on campus key. Anything going that direction is going to be on campus, and anything in this direction is going to be off campus too. So this just about wraps up our tour guide live. To kind of give a hint, we are going to be doing this again in a couple of weeks, where we'll be showing off some of our athletics facilities and where our sporting events take place and things like that. But Once again, my name is Brad. It's been awesome doing this for you. Hello to our alums, to prospective students, whoever's tuned in. Super happy to have you, and I'll hang out for the next few minutes too if anyone has any other questions, BJ.
Yeah, well, thank you again so much, and thanks for all of you who are commenting and sharing your grad and alum years who are going through. So it's really been nice, and I know for myself as a two-time graduate of Ohio University who isn't on campus at the moment, it looks very nice. And I know as the campus prepares for the football game tonight, which is also exciting, as you said, we'll just kind of take it in. And I don't think you had the opportunity yet to, if you wouldn't mind just sharing your Ohio story, like why did you choose Ohio when you started all the way back in 2017?
Of course, would love to. So kind of my story starts back in 2016 when I first toured the campus. I didn't get accepted into the journalism school the night before my tour, but I did get accepted into OU. So that kind of left me second guessing a little bit on whether I wanted to come here or not. Luckily, my tour guide was a journalism major, and she put me in touch with people in Schoonover and also Chubb in ways to get into the journalism school before I came onto campus. And I did eventually get in during my senior year of high school to the journalism school, but that is not why I really tell that story. I just tell it to speak volumes on the people that work and go to Ohio University too. The fact that my tour guide is willing to take 10, 15 minutes out of her day to talk to me, and also all the advisors that I had talked to in that process. I had not told them officially I was coming to Ohio University, but they just wanted me to get the best possible experience, get all the answers that I needed. And that was so welcoming. And I felt that ever since day one. It's helped me get internships, jobs. And I just love that feeling of not only Ohio University, but also the people of Athens too. That's a big reason why I stayed in Athens for the summer, is just because the community is so welcoming as we are accepting of them.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, and it is a great testament to you as a student, and just to always show there's not one right way to become a student at Ohio University. So as we can hear some
Yeah.
students in the background there, but that's cool. So, and I just want to say a quick thank you to you, Brad, for sharing your evening with us tonight, and all of you who have joined us live or are seeing this a little bit later. You know, if you're interested in finding out more of Ohio University, you can always reach out to us, admissions, and we will be happy to answer any questions you have. And stick around. As Brad said, we will have more of these little tours live on campus, so look for those more to come. And so I'm going to let Brad sign off, and thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Sorry, I'm trying to flip my camera. Yes, I second everything BJ says. Thank you all. Really appreciate it. Hopefully get to see you on campus soon. See y'all.
Thank you.